Hey, what's going on, guys? Mangamson here, bringing you another Destiny 2 video. And this video is going to particularly focus on how to get legendary shards and the many methods that you may already have access to, but you're not utilizing those resources in order to get your maximum amount of legendary shards per se. Now, getting legendary shards at endgame may not be a high priority for you, but the seasons are going to continue. Destiny 2 is going to go into 2022. You're always going to need legendary shards. So for the purposes of this video, I start off with 8 legendary shards just so I could show you the amount of legendary shards that I'm going to get from this particular method and the many methods located throughout this video. So you may be asking yourself, what do I need legendary shards for, or why would I even want them? And I would point you over to Banshee 44. Banshee 44 has these things called upgrade modules. Upgrade modules are the basic things that you need to infuse gear up to a higher level. Now these things can be quite costly with 5,000 pieces of glimmer, planetary materials, legendary shards, enhancement cores, what have you. Now if I go over to my inventory here, which you guys should go do, and look at your gunsmith materials, if you haven't been slamming gunsmith materials into Banshee 44, which I don't think that you should have been doing in the first place, you should have an abundance of gunsmith materials at your disposal, upwards to around 5,000 plus if you haven't been using them over the course of the last few years, which I don't think that you would have been because they're not particularly useful. So other than using the gunsmith materials for this method, I'm going to go over to Banshee 44 and I'm going to get rid of those little telemetry things that don't provide anything, and I'm going to go ahead and slam a whole bunch of these gunsmith materials in him until I get to around the low 4,000 mark. And I'm going to get energy weapons, power weapons, and kinetic weapons, and blue shaders, which don't provide any legendary shards. Now, a good question you're going to be asking yourself is, I got all those weapons, now what do I do? Well, now we're going to go back to our vault and start making some room.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Now that you've been through that painful cycle of making some room inside of your vault, the reason why you're going to be deleting some weapons from time and time again is because overall we're going to get the sunsetting thing going, but also I need you to put your armor inside of your vault, because all the armor that you use on a daily basis is going to take up the room for the next method that we have here. And you just want to deposit all those items that you have in there, all the pieces of gear that you got. We're going to need our character to be as blank as possible besides what you have equipped. And that's going to take us over to Lord Shaxx. Lord Shaxx, if you have Crucible tokens, you've been playing the game, you got some Crucible tokens, he's going to give you weapons, he's going to give you armor pieces. It's all RNG, so you just want to make as enough room as possible. So when you get these weapons and you get these armor pieces, they're not all sent to the Postmaster, because when we go over to the Postmaster, we're going to need to make some room over there from time to time again, and we're going to need to delete those blue shaders that we got from the gunsmith, and we're going to just need to make room for all the weapons and the little armor pieces that we're going to get, because when we do the token slamming for Lord Shaxx, we may end up getting a piece of armor or gear 15 times in a row, who knows. We just need that room there so things don't disappear. Then we're going to head over to the Vanguard Specialist himself, Commander Zavala. Now, Commander Zavala will give you outright shaders, most of them being blue, but occasionally you'll get some of the purple ones. Now, he's going to give you guns, he's going to give you armor pieces. This guy's all over the place. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he just wants to give you stuff, so take it. Then, from there, we're going to go back to our Postmaster, or head over to the Postmaster for the first time, and we're going to start making some necessary room there. Check your rolls, just in case you get a god roll here and there for something that you might need. But all in all, we're looking to dismantle as many things as possible. Now, if the shaders come in at an odd amount, like 7, 9. You want to knock those down to a good 5 number so you can head over to Master Raul and break those down quite conveniently with just the press of the X button to recycle them out, knocking out 5 at a time. Now, when we do this, we're going to go in and we're going to start deleting things.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Okay, now you're thinking, I know about the token slamming, I know about the gunsmith things, blah, 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 but I need more legendary shards than that. It doesn't give me enough. And then that's why I will point you back to your inventory and start looking at these planetary resources, particularly this one as Seraphite. Seraphite goes along with the Mars planet. The Mars planet has one of the ace boon coons on it, and that is Anna Bray herself. Now, Anna Bray is just one of the many vendors we're going to visit, but she gives you a fair amount of exchange rate here, but she ends up giving you a lot of purple shaders and a lot of little pieces of gear here and there. Some of her pieces may look cool, but they're not relevant at all. So just go ahead and knock out quite a bit. You don't want to empty your entire Seraphite depository into her, but you want to get enough to where it's down for a bit. So about 200 materials here and there. And this is going to get you just a little bit more shaders and armor and weapons and stuff. Now, unlike all the other methods, because we're just here on this planet collecting this stuff, we're going to go ahead and knock out her things right off the bat and clean up any of the old things that we had lingering back from the tower. So delete her Arctic Dreamscape shaders and all her little gizmos and gadgets that she gave you there. The next planet that we're going to end up visiting is the most annoying guy in Destiny 2, in my opinion, and that is Brother Vance the Fanatic. And he has another fair exchange rate on giving you some of the purple shaders and giving you some of those legendary weapons. Now, everything that he gives you doesn't look cool at all, and none of his weapons are going to be relevant later past the point of this video. So just get as many as you want from there. Again, don't empty out your entire inventory there of your planetary materials for Brother Vance, but just get enough of them so that you can get some of those purple shaders and get that irrelevant gear from him, because we're going to end up breaking that down while we're here as well. Boom, you're going to want to end up knocking those all out. So now you're thinking, all right, so I did the Mercury thing, I did the Brother Vance thing. What other ways can I get legendary shards? And then I would take you over to the Umbral system. This is another one of those systems in the game to where we end up getting a whole bunch of stuff and we just don't know what to do with it. So take all those Umbral engrams. If you're not really focused on a piece of gear, focus on a piece of gear if you want to, but just go ahead and crack them open. Check the rolls and see if you got any god rolls, but ultimately, we're going to be wanting to break all these down as much as possible. If you're not looking to infuse a piece of gear up to the max power level or the base max power level of 1050, you really don't need that piece of gear that you're going to get from the Umbral engram. We're going to want to break all those down to get those legendary shards. Now, the Umbral system, you're going to, like I said, you're going to be getting all these Umbral engrams and you're going to want to be breaking them down. So, is that it? And I would say no, because we're going to go back to one of my old trusted friends in the Tangled Shore, which is Spider. He does sell legendary shards. In one of my previous videos, I said don't buy these things from him, but if it's helium fragments, go ahead and use it, because Eris Morn is one of the most notable NPCs in the game, if not one of the only NPCs in the game besides Amanda Holiday, which just doesn't have any type of returns for doing any of her activities that involve her planetary materials. Same as the Lectern of Enchantment. You don't use helium fragments, whatever. You don't use that planetary material to do anything here with it. You just have it. So if you have helium filaments, then go to Spider, start turning them in. The moon's not going anywhere, and neither are the helium filaments, well, however you pronounce it. So go ahead and cash out a bit. I say about 200, 250 of them if you have them, because if you're going to be doing nightmare hunts, you're going to be going over there and running the altars of sorrow. You may bump into helium filaments all over the place. So just why not? They're honestly not going anywhere, and you need the legendary shards now. So go bananas with it. There's nothing really wrong with doing it that way. So throughout the various methods that we used here, by utilizing Spider again, Anabray, Vanguard, Lord Shax, Banshee 44, we ended up getting a total of 521 legendary shards from this method. You've already grinded the game, you already have the materials there. If you're a veteran Destiny 2 player or you're a new Destiny 2 player, any of these methods can work for you to get you upwards to 500 plus legendary shards. If you have things that you are willing to part with, such as those resources that you're not really utilizing in the first place. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If there's anything that I could have done better, please let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.